It's Kent and Sandy with Saturday Morning Basics Yoga. And so for this next hour or so, I hope that we can have some fun on our mats and explore our bodies and our yoga. So today's class is really designed around something that happened to me yesterday morning. I walked out on the patio with the dog, and it was still kind of rainy and not the best of mornings yesterday. And I walked out with my cup of coffee, waiting for the dog to do her thing, right? And was turning around to check out the gutters on the house and make certain that there was nothing happening with gutters or downspouts that I needed to run in and tell Kent about. And I happened to notice that a crabapple tree that's on the side of our house, so we tend to overlook it, especially now where we're not going out quite a bit, was in this beautiful full bloom. And it was just sitting there right next to our house. And I would have totally missed it if I had not been turning around and looking actually for a problem. And it really struck me how right now we're all at that point where we want to get out, we want to be able to do things, but we want to be safe. We want to see our family, we want to see our friends, but we want to be safe. We want them to be safe. And so things are starting to really get on our nerves right now if they hadn't before. And I realized we all have a lot of blessings that if we look up and we pay attention, we'll be reminded, oh yeah, I forgot about that crabapple tree and how for a very brief period in time, it's a beautiful tree. Rest of the year, we want to get rid of it, but it's a beautiful tree. And so my invitation to you this morning on your mat is, even if you're feeling cranky places in your body, or if a pose doesn't feel exactly accessible to you, then I would like you to look for the blessing in that, kind of like Mr. Rogers says, right? Look for the helpers, look for the blessings, look for the things that your body is able to do, and enjoy that, all right? So find an easy seated position. It might be crisscross applesauce, like Kent is doing. It might be more of a Siddhasana, where the ankles are lined up and pulled in close into the groin. I don't think anybody in here likes full lotus yet, but and notice, check in with those hips as you're sitting down. And if your hips or your low back are uncomfortable, please feel free to pull a blanket in, or I see some pillows on sofas behind folks. Just grab a pillow and put it underneath, and then let your pelvis tilt forward so you feel that curve in the low back. And then lift up out of the spine. You might play around with that spine a little bit in the shoulders while you get comfortable sitting here. Begin to press the knees towards the floor and use that action to roll the shoulders far apart from each other, really pulling them down and then on to the back. Your hands can rest on your thighs, your knees, wherever's comfortable. And then last thing, lift your gaze a little bit so that we're getting rid of that tech neck. Lift your gaze and let your eyes close. If your eyes were open, you'd be looking straight out. Let your eyelids get soft while your eyeballs get heavy in your head. Feel the softness and the milkiness behind the eyelids. And then press up even higher through the crown of your head. And as you do that, begin to draw the breath in deeply. Gently and freely let the belly, as you inhale, expand. And as you exhale, pull that belly in to force the air up and out. We'll take a few gentle breaths that way. And then I'd like you to practice something called box breath, box breathing. And it's a way to just come back to that even in and out breath and to make us focus on it. So with your next exhale, fully blow the air all the way out. Inhale and imagine drawing a line up one side of a box. And then hold, retain that breath as you draw the top of the box mentally. And as you exhale, draw the same side line down the other side. And then retain that exhale as you draw the bottom line of your box. Keep drawing that box mentally and aligning your breath so the sides are the inhales and the exhales, and the top and the bottom are the retention. Trying to make those, it's a square box, so we want those all to be nice and even. Play with that visual and notice how when you're drawing that with your mind's eye, it hopefully helps you find that breath a little bit more easily than we just say, go back to Samavriti, in and out, same length. So play with that for 3 to 5 more breaths here. And then as you're ready, just let your breath return to its natural breath rhythm. Let your mind relax and fully arrive on your mat, letting go of any problems, issues, things you're anticipating as we move into class. Instead, I'd like you to bring to mind those blessings that you have in your life that maybe escape your attention. And you want to have a little, oh yeah, moment. It might be some flowers that you noticed coming up. It might be flowers you just planted. It might be a note or a call that you set up with someone. A Facebook message, a LinkedIn, perhaps a package. And as you bring those blessings to mind, bring your hands to your heart center. And I would ask you for this class to focus your intention on that idea of your blessings, practicing your gratitude, gently bowing your head, honoring not only those blessings that came to mind, but those that hopefully will come to mind as you move through your practice today and through your life today. With an inhale, keeping the eyes soft, you can gently open the eyes, lift the head up, and let the hands come down, again by the knees. With the eyes open, take the arms out by your sides and then flip the palms up. Keep the spine nice and long, grounding down through the sit bones. Inhale and raise those arms up. Draw the shoulders back behind the ears. So if you look to the right and to the left, are you looking at your triceps? Or are your triceps behind your field of vision? And you can bend the arms to get here, that's fine. We just want to get those shoulders back so you feel the shoulder blades on the back. Now try to kind of pull those shoulder blades together. Again, a small bend in the arms is great here. And then flip those palms and take the arms down, keeping the shoulder blades on the back. Do that again. Inhaling up, try to keep those shoulder blades on the back. Kit and I are already whacking each other. Flip the palms out, exhale, and bring the arms down. One more time, inhale the arms all the way up. Now try to keep the shoulder blades on the back and stretch through the arms, taking as much of the bend out of the elbows as you can. Use the torso and plant that left hip bone down as you start to twist to the right. Then let the hands just float down wherever they may. It might be the ground, it might be one knee. Press into whatever your hands have landed on. Lift up and give the spine lots of length, and then exhale and twist more deeply to the right. Keep breathing. Kent reminded me yesterday, I was watching him in class and he looked over his left shoulder. That's a great way to check in on the neck. Instead of cranking over to your right, looking the opposite direction. A couple more breaths here, just feeling this twist, really anchoring that left hip down. Each exhale, twisting more deeply. And then with the next inhale, lift those arms up, keeping your twist, and then come back through the center. Stretch up again and check in with those shoulder blades. Use the abdomen to turn you to the left. Exhale and bring the hands down. Press down through the sit bones, lift up through the spine, and exhale and twist a little more deeply. Roll those shoulders onto the back. Play with the gaze a little bit, looking out over the different shoulders, making certain that we're not using that neck to crank into this position. Press down through that right sit bone as you crank one more time over to the left, getting a deep twist. See if you can keep this twist on your inhale, lift the arms up, come back through center, and exhale the hands down to the floor. Press the left fingers into the floor, float that right arm up, reach up, over, find the left ear with the right fingers. Gently pull the right ear over towards the right shoulder. Notice I said gently. Now this might be enough sensation for you. If you'd like more sensation through the left side of your body, press the fingers actively into the ground and begin to press the left ear back into the hand as you resist the left ear with the right hand. And if you like even more sensation, you can always lift that left arm up and try to stretch out through it. Now, if this isn't activating anything for you, congratulations, your neck on this side is nice and loose. You can release, unwind it all, and we'll try that on the other side. So press those right fingers into the ground, lift up through the spine, reach that left arm up over, finding the right ear, and then gently start to pull the left ear over towards the left shoulder. Begin to resist the right ear back into the left hand, maybe stretch the right arm out. And just notice the difference. For some of you, you might feel this sensation all the way down over the deltoid cap. And then gently release, unwinding. Beautiful. We're going to inhale the arms and reach them all the way up one more time. And then exhale the right arm down, take the left arm over and stretch to the right. Keep that left hip down, pressing out through that left arm. Now, this is a chance to practice your side angle. You might notice like my left side is really arching here. And in side angle pose, we see this a lot. So I'm going to invite you, pull your right side longer, try to bend the elbow and see if you can get long through the left side rather than arching over. Does that make sense? And then inhale, lifting up. Let that left arm come down and try the same thing. Resist the urge to make an arch with the back. Instead, pull up through the left side body and stretch through the right fingers to get the stretch. I know I always want to do kind of like McDonald's arches because it feels good. I have a bendy spine. And then inhale, stretch all the way up. Bring both arms up and exhale, hands down to heart center. Bring your hands down by your hips and go ahead and pull any props that you might have been sitting on out from underneath you. Set them off to the side of your mat, but before we move, make certain you have an open space on either side of your mat. And then come through your tabletop. Come find your tabletop, I should say. And with the knees underneath the hips and the hands underneath the shoulders, we'll set up for table. Now, if you're like me and you have fidgety knees or funky knees, no, you're always welcome to fold your mat over and get a double fold. You're welcome to place a wrap pad underneath your knees or a blanket, whatever you need. So find your nice solid table and then look down and make certain that even your ankles are equidistant apart and are hidden by the thighs. Stretch out long through the back and pull the belly up. Take a big breath in and a full exhale out. And then on the next inhale, lift the sacrum, let the belly drop down, pull the heart through and find your cow pose. Press the sacrum down towards the floor, lift through the spine, let the head drop and find your cat pose. Keep breathing this way on the inhale, finding your cow. And on the exhale, creating the cat. As you flow through this, notice the hands and the hips. They should be active. Hands pressing that mat away in your cat, hips pulling in. And in the cow, shoulders lifting up by the ears. So we're kind of shoulder flossing as we're moving through this cat-cow position. Do one more set of cat-cow. And when you next find yourself in a nice neutral spine, just stretch out there. Shift your weight onto the left hand and knee. Keep the right leg bent and lift the right leg up out to the side. Now we're trying to keep the right knee and the right ankle lined up for bad dog. And then exhale, draw the knee down. Do that 2 more times. Inhaling the leg up and exhaling the leg down. 1 more time. And then come all the way down. Shift the weight to the right side of the body. Lift that left leg up. Bad dog on the other side. Exhale and draw it down. Inhale, lifting up. Exhaling down. 1 more time. Inhaling up and exhaling down. Center the weight again. Stretch the right arm out. Take that left leg out long, just to hip height. Pull the belly up and press the mat away, lifting yourself up higher off your mat. Draw everything towards the midline of the body. And as you're ready, we're going to sweep right arm out, left leg out, finding awkward airplane. And then come back through the center line and drop the right hand and the left knee down. I'm not going to do that awkward airplane on the other side so I don't kick my husband. Stretch the left leg out, stretch the the left arm out and the right leg out. Elise thought that was funny. And hold this bird dog. And then when you're ready, go to awkward airplane. I'll go part way. And then come back through the center and draw everything back to a neutral tabletop position. Bring your toes in close together. Take your knees out nice and wide. Drop your hips and see if your hips can find your heels. And then start to roll the upper body towards the mat, finding a nice relaxed child's pose, just letting the body melt down towards the floor. And if you have bad knees or a bad back, tight shoulders, just this right here can be a blessing. I can come to a child's pose and find some level of comfort. Take one more breath in this child's pose. And then bring your elbows slightly in and draw your hands into a prayer position. Rotate, lifting the fingers towards the sky, and see if you can draw the hands back behind your head. A little bit of a shoulder opener. You can walk the right elbow and the left elbow slightly further forward. And then when you're ready, draw the hands back down towards the mat. Press the hands flat into the mat, lift up and find your tabletop position. From here, take the knees back a couple of inches, tuck those toes, lift the hips, exhale and find down dog. Go ahead and take a moment here to pedal out this down dog. So bending one knee with the breath and then bending the other knee and straightening the leg. Always using the hands to push the mat actively away, lifting the sit bones up in the air. Not worrying so much about do my heels touch the mat as opposed to am I lifting my sit bones as high in the air as I can and then stretching through the legs. Let your gaze come forward and take little tiny steps up to the front of your mat, finding a forward fold. Once you've found that forward fold, slide your hands up your shins, flatten your back, and find Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale and fold. Do that 2 more times. Inhaling up, pull the belly in, exhale and fold. You can keep a bend in the knees here, inhaling up, and then exhaling and folding. This time, bring the hands to the hips. Big bend in those knees, nice flat back, rise all the way up. Hands rise up, and exhale, hands down to heart center. Go ahead and shake it all out. And then make certain that your feet are hip distance apart. Find all 4 corners of those feet, and then draw the shins in and pull the thighs apart, engage the glutes. We're building our mountain or Tadasana pose. Draw up and in with the abdominals, slide the shoulders down and apart, lift up through the head. When you're ready, let the eyes and the arms reach all the way up. Press the hips behind you and forward fold. Again, you're welcome to keep a bend in the knees if the hamstrings aren't all the way warmed up yet. Inhale, halfway for Ardha. Exhale and fold. This time, inhale all the way up. And the right hand grasps the left wrist, press down through the left foot, stretch up through the left arm, and reach over for a nice crescent stretch. Shift your weight to your right foot, flex the left foot, and if you've got your balance, see how high we're using the outer hip muscles to lift that left leg. And then come back through the center, switch the arms out, stretch up through that right arm, shift the weight to the left, flex the right foot and start to lift that right foot out. Come back through the center and cactus the arms, lift through the heart and lift your gaze, little tiny back bend. Inhale, coming all the way back up. Exhale, we'll do a Sane, forward fold. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale and fold, bend your knees, plant your hands, and step right, left, back to your plank. You're always welcome to modify, dropping your knees down, or like Kent is, full plank. Exhale, chaturanga, come all the way down through this chaturanga. Lift the right leg and stretch out, lift the left leg, stretch it out. Rotate the inner thighs up towards the sky and pull the heels together. Have the hands right by the rib cage, roll the shoulders back and lift up, baby cobra. Take a full breath in and out here. And then come all the way down, tuck the toes, and either press through table to down dog or reverse your plank and press all the way back to down dog. We have lots of different levels here in this class this morning, so feel free to take the one that serves your body. Take a couple of breaths, inhaling in and out, coming back to that box breath here. And as you do that, trying to settle into your down dog. With your next exhale, go ahead and bend your knees, coming to a kneeling position on your mat. Walk your hands back and come all the way up to standing on your knees. We're going to start with the left leg here. Take your left leg out to a gate pose. Press the left hand into the left hip and try to straighten up through the right side of the body. I always want, because there's tightness here, I kind of notice I'm cranking my chest towards my leg. So make certain your chest is squared to the front of your mat as your leg presses straight out from the left hip. Then slide that left hand down the left leg. Inhale, stretch the right arm up and reach over towards the left side body. Yeah. Nice big breath in and out here. And then inhale that right arm up. Take the arms in, helicopter them so the right arm presses down, left arm reaches up, flex the left foot and take the leg high. Now tap it out, down and up, down and up. One more time, down and up. Use the left leg and the left arm to help you press back up. Exhale, hands down to the heart center and draw the left leg in. If you need to hula hoop out those legs, those hips a little bit, go ahead. And then I was just dying wanting to see John hula hoop his hips, but nope. All right, when you're ready, take the right leg, take the right leg out to the side. Again, check in, make certain the right leg is coming straight out, chest is squared forward, press down on that right hip, and then reach up with the left arm, reach out with the right arm, and when you're ready, on an exhale, reach that left arm over towards the right side body. Nice big side body stretch. Breathing into the stretch. Then we're going to helicopter those arms, catch the left hand on the floor, reach up with the right, stretch the right leg up. And then tap it out. Down and up, down and up. One more time. Down and up. And then use the right side of the body to help you press up. Hands reach up and everything returns back to the center of the mat. All right, we're going to practice one variation of Vashistasana here that you can play with. And later in class, when we go to a different Vashistasana, if you want to come back to this one, I want you to feel free. So come back to your tabletop position. And we'll go left the first time. So take your left toes and pivot your left leg out. Left foot comes out to the side. Stretch the right toes out behind you. And then with your right fingers still on the mat, shift your weight so you're on your left leg and your right toe. Then bring your right hand first up to your hip and stack hips and shoulders. Push your hips forward and your shoulders back and lift your right arm up. Take a few breaths. This is a nice safe Vashistasana because you've got 2 kickstands going here for you. But it gives you a chance to start to strengthen front and back muscles. Then bring the right hand down to the ground, unwind all of this. And before we move on, I want to highlight something. If you find that in Vashistasana, if you want to sit back, if you find that in Vashistasana your wrists or your hands start to hurt, I want you to think about the 2 bones in the lower arm. They narrow because they're not meant to carry a lot of weight down here. But when we roll the inner arm, when we roll the lower arm in, it causes the 2 bones to kind of roll over each other and create much more strength. That then is connected with tendons to your middle finger. So if you're pressing down your middle finger and rolling in with the lower arm, you're taking a lot of the pressure off the wrist. Does that make sense to everyone? All right. So as you're practicing, what I want you to think about is rolling your shoulder out, your inner arm in, and pressing down with your middle finger. All right, lots to think about. Come back to your tabletop, set up the hands. So really roll the shoulders out. I can talk. Roll the lower arms in, press down through the middle fingers on both hands. Pivot the right foot out to the right side. Start to shift your weight as you stretch your left leg out, toes in the ground. Shift your weight onto that right arm. You can have the left hand come to the hip while you stack those shoulders, pushing the hip forward and the head back, and then let the left arm reach up for the sky. And breathe. Feel both front and back body working here. Right arm holding you steadily, solidly. And when you're ready, you can unwind, coming back down. Dig the toes in and press back for toe crunching position. Shake those wrists out. I want to make certain that we don't get anybody's wrists sore as we're moving through class today. All right, let's come back, make our way up to the front of our mat, and we're going to do one more sun salutation. And in that sun salutation in the cobra, we're going to add a little shoulder opener with a twist to it. So inhale, stretch all the way up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhaling halfway. Exhaling and folding. Bend your knees, plant your hands, step back, find your plank. Shift your weight so that you're over your wrists. Check in with the shoulders. Exhale, chaturanga. Maybe you hover for a moment, and then we'll all press all the way down. If you've got anything off to the side of your mat, where your shoulders would go, move it out of the way. Stretch the shoulders out long. Lift the right leg up and stretch those toes out. Lay them down and press them into the ground. Lift the left leg, stretch it out, press the toes into the ground. Draw the right fingers so that you're cupping the floor. You're up on the fingertips. We're going to do shoulder opener on the left side. Press the right hand into the ground and begin to roll over onto your left side, keeping the left hand down. Now you can stop here, hips stacked, or you can lift the right leg up, bend the knee, and try to plant the right foot behind your butt on the floor. So besides being a great shoulder opener, this is a hip opener. Later in class, I will give the invitation for those of you that want to play with Wild Thing. You need this hip action in order to do that. Come back through center, unwinding the legs first, stacking them, rolling the body over, and switching the arms out. You'll notice that the shoulders are going to feel different. Come to the left fingertips, elbow towards the sky, and then begin to press the fingertips into the floor as you exhale and roll yourself onto the right side. Again, you can stay here or lift that left leg up, bend the knee like we do in three-legged dog, reach the foot behind you, finding the floor, and breathe. With your next breath, begin to stack those legs, rolling back through the center. Draw the hands back by your rib cage. Inhale, press up for a nice little baby cobra. Make certain that you roll the shoulders down the back. Yeah, beautiful, Elise, that was nice. And then exhale and press down, tuck the toes, lift up and find down dog. And go ahead and take a few breaths here in this down dog. Stretching those legs out, pressing the mat away, breathing deeply. On your next inhale, stretch the right leg up towards the sky, then bend the knee and draw the knee way into the belly, swing the foot forward and plant it between your hands. If it stops short back here, just use the same side hand to lift the foot and put it where you want it. All right, then drop that left knee down. Make certain that you sneak that left leg back a little further than you're usually comfortable with. Inhale, reach the arms up and find your low lunge. Scissor those legs together and then exhale and open arm twist. Right arm goes back, left arm goes forward. Beautiful. Hold this and breathe. Inhale, sweep those arms up. Exhale the hands down to frame the front foot. Stretch through the back leg, finding a runner's lunge here. Exhale, drop the left knee back down to the ground again. Inhale those arms up. Exhale back into your twist. Right arm goes back, left arm goes forward. We're going to add to this now. Use that right arm, draw it up by the right ear, reach over and see if you can hold a beach ball out here to this side. Inhale back up to that open arm twist. Bring both arms up, come through the center, and then exhale the hands down to frame the foot. Find your runner's lunge again. Press your weight into your right foot, step forward and bring the left leg just up to hip height. And then drop the left leg down by the right and shake those legs out. Inhale halfway up for Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale and fold. Grab opposite elbows and ragdoll back and forth. Drop the hands down to the mat. Inhale halfway up. Exhale and fold. Inhale, sweep all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Reach your arms back behind you, clasping the hands. I'm going to turn around so you can see what's going on here. Roll the shoulders onto the back and press the hands down towards the heels. Then take your forward fold, pushing the hips back towards, away from you. And we'll begin to roll those arms up towards the sky. You can have the knees bent. I just want you to keep thinking about lifting the sit bones, not tucking, all right? Roll those shoulders nice and open. And then gently bend the elbows, release the hands, bring the hands to the hips. Inhale, press all the way up. We've got to pick up those low lunges on the other side. So when you're ready, inhale, stretch all the way up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale and fold. Bend the knees, plant the hands, find your plank. Take the chaturanga here. And then come all the way down. Inhale up for baby cobra. Exhale, press back, find down dog. Take a couple of breaths. With your next inhale, stretch that left leg up. Bend the left knee, floating it way up into the belly, and swing the foot forward. Again, if it didn't make it, that was great. I love that. I saw Elise and John both just grab that foot and put it where they want. When you do that, one of the tricks is if the leg is back, if you've got your chest down on your thigh and you grab the same side leg, you're one solid unit. You just move the whole thing there. Stretch out through that back leg and drop the right knee down to the mat. Inhale, stretching all the way up. Find your low lunge. Now, don't let the legs be lazy here. Scissor those legs together. So heel and knee come together. From that base, twist to the left. Left arm floats back. Right arm reaches out. Try to relax the shoulders. Stretch the arms. Inhale, reaching the arms up. Exhale, hands down to frame that front foot. Stretch through the back leg. Runner's lunge. Breath. Press that right knee down. Inhale, right back up. Turn into that twist. Is that an oxymoron? Turn into that twist. And if you want that beach ball, press on this side. Scissor those legs for stability. Right palm goes up. Left arm reaches up and over, trying to find that beach ball. And then inhale the arms back up towards your warrior arms. Flip both palms up. Hands come together, come back through the center. Exhale, hands down to frame that front foot. Now remember, we're just going to lift that back leg to hip height. Step on the left leg, float the right leg up, bring it just to hip height. You're in warrior 3 legs. And then drop the right foot down by the left and shake it all out. Nice big breath. Inhale halfway. Exhale and fold. Inhale, sweep the arms all the way up. And exhale, hands to heart center. Beautiful. Shake those legs out. If you need a drink, grab a drink. So I'm going to break a rule because I know we have, Meredith, we've practiced together, but not a lot, I believe. And Nancy, I think, has pretty limited practice. And I know she's only practiced once or twice with me. So I want to make certain everybody knows where we're headed. We're going to do something called Turbo Dog. Can I use you?
Sure.
So in this next sequence, we're going to do Turbo Dog, and then I'll show you a Wild Thing. So come to Down Dog, and you guys can watch unless you already know what we're doing and you just want more practice. So turbo dog is a way to get a little bit more out of your down dog. We're going to bend the knees and bring the shins parallel to the floor. Now see how right away he wanted to tuck. So now keeping the knees there, he's going to lift his sit bones. Yeah, see that nice concave back? Now press the shoulders back, keeping the legs bent. Now he could stay right here. This is turbo dog and it's a killer. Or he can start to straighten his legs, keeping the bend and the curve in the back. Beautiful. And drop your knees and come down to the mat. Nice. That was a great demo, Kent. Thank you. So that's turbo dog. All right. We practice on all the same things. The shoulders roll out, the sit bones really lift up, and you'll feel the arms and the legs start to shake, right? Now, the other thing that we're going to have in this little sequence is wild thing. So those of you that are really comfortable with your down dog, with your down dog, and you want to go deeper, you will play with wild thing. So we're okay. Kent just said, "Why don't you do it on my mat so they can see it from the side?" He's so smart. All right. So you're going to find your down dog, and then you're going to lift one leg up. We'll do three-legged dog with a twist. Look familiar to the shoulder opener we just did? If you want to stay here, you'll stay here. If you want to go for wild thing, you're going to come to your left fingertips as your left leg drops over. And then you press up with your hips and arch your back. Come back through and find your down dog. All right, so that's wild thing. Yeah, if you want to go there, great, do it. If you just want to practice with how far can I get the foot over and start to get this feeling before it gets scary, that's cool too. All right, so let's all come down, find our down dog. I'm sensing some reluctance. It's all good. Just go to where you want to go. Take a breath and choose where you're going to head in this sequence. Well, all right. Some people, down dog's just hard. Yeah, for some, Ken just said, for some people, down dog's hard. All right, we'll start with the right leg. So lift that right leg up and then bend the knee and bring the right heel towards the right hip, getting three-legged dog with a twist. Really lift through the hips. Come back, square the hips off, stretch the right leg out and bring the right foot down by the left. Headed to turbo dog. Bend the knees, bring the shins parallel to the floor. Lift the sit bones, keeping the bend in the knees. Press your chest back towards your knees. Now start to straighten the legs. One more breath. Inhale, press to plank. Drop the knees, exhale, take a break. When you're ready, on an exhale, press back and find down dog. This helps when I have Kent and a couple of you with your screens open, because then I can pace it based on what you're all doing. Take a breath here, and when you're ready, lift that right leg up behind you. Right leg still. Right leg up behind you. So bend that right knee. You can either go straight to three-legged dog with a twist, or you can begin to play with the drop back. So come to the right fingertips if you're going for that. Start to stack the hips. Roll that right foot over towards the opposite side floor. And maybe go for the full drop over. Diana looks like she's got it. She might go there. Elise got it. Yay! Nice job. Nice job. And when you're ready, just use that right arm and that right leg to flip you back over. Come back down onto your knees and take a break. Beautiful. So take a moment here. If you need a child's pose, go for it. If you need to rock and roll those wrists out, go for it. I had to move Kent's blanket because I was afraid he was going to do the drop back and land on the blanket. He was like, I'm not doing that drop back. All right, when you're ready, we'll do that on the other side. So find your down dog. Lift up through the hips. Take a moment to let that breath come back. Find that box breath. When you're ready, on an inhale, lift the left leg up, bend the left knee, open up the left hip, drawing the left knee towards the sky, left heel towards the left glute. Pull that right shoulder forward into a great big three-legged dog with a twist. Square the hips off, stretch the leg out, and then bring the left leg down by the right. Turbo dog is next, so bend the knees, bringing the shins parallel to the floor.
Push the mat actively away so you can lift the sit bones. And then with the shoulders back, curve in the low back, start to straighten the legs. Nice turbo dog. If you need a break, bend the knees, come down off the wrists. If you're ready to keep going, I see some of you are like, no, 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 let's go. Lift up through those hips even higher. The higher your hips are, the easier wild thing is. Lift that left leg back up, bend the knee. Either go straight back to three-legged dog with the twist, or come to your left fingertips. Start to drop the left foot behind you. Let the left arm float up. Come to the knife edge of the right foot and reach up towards the ceiling. Beautiful. Nice, guys. When you're ready, flip that dog back over, bend the knees, calm down, take a break. You can shake the wrists out. Now, those of you, some of you on the call might have been like, oh, that was easy peasy. So your next step you get to practice at home is doing the three-legged dog with the twist to flip dog, and then pulling the leg back up into three-legged dog instead of just coming back to down dog. Does that make sense? Big strength move. All right. When you're ready, let's make our way up to the front of our mat. We'll meet there in our mountain or Tadasana pose. So if you need a drink along the way or to mop off a little bit, go ahead and do that. And then find your mountain pose and settle back into your breath. Inhale, sweep the eyes and the arms all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Stand well on your right foot, lift your left leg up and reach back. We're stepping into a warrior two position. So right foot is stretching forward. Left foot is parallel to the back edge of the mat, and the right foot bisects the arch of the left foot. Let the arms sweep out. Chest is parallel to the long edge of the mat. Look over the right shoulder, out over the fingertips. Watch that right knee. It's going to want to wander, so keep it right over the second toe on the right foot. Flip the front palm. Let the left hand float down as the right arm floats up, and find your nice reverse warrior. Couple of breaths here, really bending into that right leg as you stretch back behind you. Then inhale, straighten that right leg for reverse triangle. Breathe. Bend back into the right leg. Bring the arms back out to warrior two. Left hand, left hip, right forearm, right thigh. Now pull the right booty towards the left heel. And then stack left shoulder over right. Take that left arm out over the ear and reach for the wall across from you. Again, don't arch the back. Instead, lengthen through the right side as you press out through the left hand. Think of one long line from the left fingertips down through the left foot. One more breath here. And then rotate your chest towards the floor, frame your front foot, pivot your back leg so you're back in a runner's lunge. Look forward, step into the right foot, lift the left leg just to hip height. Warrior three legs. Draw the left foot down by the right, shake that all out. Inhale, sweeping the eyes and the arms all the way up. Exhaling, hands down to heart center. Stand well on that left foot, float the right foot up, back, and find your warrior two legs. So nice big stretch here. Bending into that front knee, pressing out through the back leg. Check in now with that left knee. Don't let it wander. Make it strong. How do I do that? I pull that left booty towards the right heel. Float the arms up, take the chest parallel, and look out over the front hand. Flip the front palm, and we'll go for that reverse warrior. Ooh, nice big breath. Head to reverse triangle by straightening the front leg with an inhale. And then press back into warrior two. Left forearm, left thigh, right arm comes, right hand comes to right hip. Roll those shoulders, pull the belly in, don't let the banana back happen. And then reach out with the right arm. Again, check in that you're not arching the side, instead pull through the left side to draw out long through the right fingers. And breathe. Let your chest rotate towards the floor. Frame that foot, find your runner's lunge. Step into the left foot, lift the right leg just to hip height, right toes towards the floor, and drop the right foot down by the left. Shake those legs out. Inhale, all the way up. And bring hands down to heart center. Beautiful. All right, if you have a wall, we're going to play with the wall. If you are used to doing half moon or Ardha Chandrasana without a wall, and you want to do it just in the center of the room, feel free, all right? If you have a block, that would be great. If you don't have a block, you can grab a book, a big can of tomatoes works. If you're using the wall, we're going to put our right side on the wall. So Count will do it on the wall. I will do it away from the wall. All right. If you're using the wall, put your block or whatever you're using to substitute in between your right foot, like he's going to do, and the wall. And then step back and find your warrior two legs that you just used. If you're on the wall, you want to be close enough that your right booty can touch the wall. All right. The wall is going to be your buddy here. And then for all of us, that block should be down where we can easily reach it, all right? Stretch the arms out and find your warrior two position. Left hand to the left hip, reach down with that right arm and place your right hand on the block. I'd like everyone, well, that's okay. I can see a couple of you are fine. All right, step onto the right hand and the right foot, shifting your weight forward, dragging that left toe for balance. The block can go further out so you can center your weight on your right hand and your right leg. Lift that left leg up. Now, if you're using the wall, let your right booty hit the wall and peel up onto the wall. Let the left leg reach up back behind you, foot flexed, inner edge of the foot parallel to the floor. I guess they both would be, wouldn't they? And stack the shoulders and reach the left arm up. Wherever your left leg is, almost all of us need to lift it higher. So use the outer edges of the hip and lift it higher. Then bend into that right knee, reach back and see, can you float into warrior two? Beautiful. And then windmill the arms down to frame that foot, find your runner's lunge. Really press out through the back leg, dropping the hips, lifting the heart. Step into the right foot, float the left foot up into that warrior three position. And then drop the left leg down by the right and shake those legs out. Inhale all the way up. And exhale, hands to heart center. All right, now if you were using the block and you're not on the wall, and you're like, okay, make this harder for me, then I want you to either rotate your block down to a lower position, remember there's three positions, or get rid of it. But just like we talked about in that side stretch, we don't want to come to Ardha Chandrasana and crunch the side body. So if you drop your block, what we often see happen is this, so that I can reach the floor, right? Instead, we want you to stay nice and long and lifted through the right side body, trying to make this long, okay? So you choose your practice today, where you're going to be. If you're on the wall, your left booty should be lined up, ready to hit that wall. Left leg forward, right leg steps back. Find a nice deep warrior two, stretching those arms out. Set your intention for your Ardha Chandrasana. Right hand comes to the right hip for traveling purposes. Left hand comes down to the block or the floor, right? Your choice. And then as you start to drag that right toe forward, step into the left leg, center your hand or your block so that you can hold your weight on the left side, lift the right leg up. Now stack, open that right hip, stacking the hips, stretch the right arm up. Hold this for a breath or two. Keep trying to lift that right leg up. And when you're ready, bend into that left knee, float back, find warrior two. Beautiful strength, guys. And then front hands frame that front foot, pivot the back leg, drop those hips down. Even as we drop the hips in our runner's lunge, we lift through the back thigh. And then plant the hands flat, step forward, lift the right leg up to hip height, and drop the right foot down. Shake those legs out. Inhale halfway. Exhale in fold. Nice big breath in all the way up. And exhale, hands to heart center. Beautiful. Shake it all out. And if you went to a wall, you can come away from the wall, but if you've got a wall, we're going to play with a variation of Vashistasana where you can use the wall. Don't want to use the wall? Some of you I know are playing with more advanced versions of Vashistasana. Cool. But I'm going to show you another way. Also, if you don't want to try this version, go back to that beginning one at the beginning of class in table where we pivoted the leg and stretched out, okay? For everybody else, I'd like you to just come down to your mat and we're going to stretch out into a plank. Now, if you can put your heels on a wall, that will help you here. If not, no worries, all right? If you're using the wall, press the left heel into the wall. If you're not using the wall, just press energetically back through the left heel. Bend the right knee and bring the foot forward. You want it to be about between your right hand and your belly button. I almost said your right belly button. Pivot onto the outer edge of your left foot. Maybe come to the tiptoes and the right fingers. Lift the hips up away from the floor and then stack the shoulders and stretch up. Beautiful. And there you go, Kent's demonstrating the first one. And when you're ready, you can just unwind this.
Didn't want to show off and do that one.
He said he didn't want to show off and do that one. Bend your knees, taking a little break. Pressing back and thinking about what did I learn in that one? Which version do I want to do on this side? John, I didn't get a chance to see if you went for full Vashi, did you? Yay, okay, good. All right, so hands come down, find your plank. Stretch out. Then you decide which one am I going for. If you're going for this version of it, press through that right heel, draw the left knee up and swing the foot forward. Plant that foot, come to the tippy toes, come to the right fingers, lift up through the hips, and then start to stack the shoulders, reaching that left arm up. Big breath in and out here. And then when you're ready, the hands come back down to the mat, stretch the legs back out, bend the knees, and come down into your version of child's pose. So knees can be close together, they can be out nice and wide. Hands can be stretched out on the mat, or they can come back by the hips, palms up towards the sky. Take a couple of breaths and let the breath return back to that nice, even box breath. When you're ready, on an inhale, lift up, press yourself up, finding a tabletop position, swinging the hips over and through, and coming to a seated position. Stretch those legs out in front of you. Shake them out a little bit. Check in with the body, see how we're feeling. Again, if sitting in an L shape is not real comfortable for you, then I want you to grab your blanket and place it underneath your pelvis. I like this because it, grab your strap while you're out there too. Mine's way, so grab your strap. I like to have the blanket under my hips in Tadasana. I feel like it just gives me that little extra bit of freedom in the low back. And I have enough things going on in the low back. I don't need to encourage any more issues. So with your strap next to you, press down through the sit bones, find that anterior tilt in the pelvis. So the top of the hip bones come forward, bottom of the hips press away from the heels. You might rock side to side or pull the flesh away in order to really get connected to the ground. And then grab the thighs and rotate so that the inner thigh you're pressing down, the outer thigh you're pressing up. Through that action, stretch out through the right leg. Do the same thing with the left leg. Inner thigh goes down, outer thigh goes up. Stretch through the leg and draw them close together. Hands come back by the hips. If that's not comfortable, you're always welcome to grab your blocks and bring them in. Everybody's arms are a different length. Roll the shoulders back, lift up through the heart and pull the belly in. Lots going on in this pose. You should feel almost every muscle in your body engaging. Your challenge right now is to do a mind-body scan. And if you feel something just hanging out there, see if you can tighten and energize that muscle. For many of us, it's our bellies that in this one is hard to activate. Take a breath here. And then inhale and stretch those arms up, keeping all that low body energy. Reach all the way up towards the ceiling and forward fold as though you were standing on the floor, hinging at the hips, pushing the hips away from the heels rather than rolling the spine. Once you've found your forward extension, then let the hands just drop, and you can grab your strap and place the strap around the legs. Use the strap as an extension of the arms. Lift through the heart to flatten the back. Now I'm actively pushing my sit bones away from my heels, flexing my toes. If this is too much on the back of the legs, keep a slight bend in those knees as though you're going to slide a rolled up blanket underneath there. And then when you're ready, take the elbows out to the side, exhale and forward fold. Take a few breaths where on the inhale, you lift through the heart, and on the exhale, you try to lay first the belly, then the chest down onto the legs. So resist the urge to curl down. No extra yogi points for getting your forehead to your kneecaps. And then inhale, lifting up. Keep that strap right where it is. Just lay it down on the ground. Draw the right foot up into the left thigh. Shift your weight forward and use that momentum to help lay that right knee further towards the ground. Grasp your strap again and place it around the arch of your left foot. And again, thinking of the strap as an extension of your arm rather than a tool for your leg. Lift up through the heart and breathe. Pivot towards the left thigh. Exhale and release down towards the left thigh. Actively pressing out on the right leg, trying to press it down into the mat while you push the right foot into the left thigh. So lots of energy in that leg. Yesterday in our yoga teacher training, we were doing a standing forward fold with one leg up in half lotus, which is this position, right? Only standing. And then inhale, lifting up, drop that strap down onto the ground, stretch the right leg out, draw the left leg up into the thigh. Shift your weight forward, pushing the hips back, getting the legs all set. Push that left knee down towards the ground. And then with the strap around the leg, lift up. If you don't have a strap, when you're practicing at home, a bathrobe, belt, thank you, I couldn't think of the word, or for ladies, your husband's belt. Inhale, lifting up, exhale, stretch out long. A jump rope, a dog's leash, they all work. Actively press down through the left knee, pulling in through the left foot. Lengthen through the chest, exhale, and press lower towards the leg. Take one more breath, just like that. And when you're ready, this time you can take the strap and just draw it off the mat, lifting all the way up. Stretch the left leg out by the right, shake those legs out a little bit. If you're on a prop, go ahead, pull it off the mat, and then we'll all come all the way down onto our back, feeling the ground underneath us.
This is an hour class.
Yeah, Ken just said you do remember this is an hour class. All right. Take a moment here and relax those shoulders towards the floor. Feel the hips get heavy towards the floor. Stretch your arms out and flip your palms up towards the sky. Then one leg at a time, draw right leg, left leg in by the chest. Flex the feet and maybe roll those ankles a little bit here. Play with the yogi toes. Beautiful. Now take your arms, slide them out to a T, being careful not to knock over water bottles or smack spouses that are in the same room. And as you exhale, take the legs off to the right, trying to keep the knees tucked in nice and tight to the chin. Notice that left shoulder is going to want to pop up. Try to lay that left shoulder down. Let the legs go all the way to the right. Take one full in and out breath here. And when you're ready, behind the breath, draw the knees back up to the center. Pull the knees in nice and tight, and then exhale the legs off to the left side, trying to keep that right shoulder stretching towards the floor, even as the knees go off to the left. Relax through the torso as much as you can in the twist. Inhale, drawing the legs back up towards the center of your mat. And then bring your hands in and grasp the outer edges of your mat. So down by your sides, holding the outer edges. Flex your feet and begin to straighten your legs up towards the sky. Ground down through the hips, getting the belly heavy, pressing the back into the floor. Push through the heels. Use your back, use your core muscles and your hands to hold you in place as you slowly lower your legs down towards the floor. Now, when you feel your back start to arch and you lose it, just let go, let the feet come down and relax onto the mat. Beautiful. Kent and John are going to have a competition. And when those legs are all the way down, flat on the floor, take your right leg towards the right corner of your mat, your left leg down towards the left corner of your mat. Let the legs fall out to the sides. And from your feet, as though you were building Tadasana, slowly release each muscle, making your way up your body until finally you roll the shoulder blades completely under your heart, feeling your shoulders nestle down onto the floor, rolling the palms up towards the sky. Let the tongue move away from the roof of the mouth. Let it just float there in the mouth. And then think of the muscles on your face like a mask. Can you let those muscles relax and let the mask get soft? You can use the box breath to help calm your thoughts and your breath, or you can simply go to a nice deep even in and out breath, your own. Take a few minutes here, just relaxing into your Shavasana. Begin to bring your awareness back to your body and your mat by drawing a deep, full breath in, and then dropping your jaw and exhaling, sighing it out. One more time, draw a nice, deep, full breath in, drop your jaw and exhale it out. Then let the breath return to its normal pattern as you begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes, add the wrists and the ankles. As you're ready, draw the legs in close together, bending the knees, drawing the knees in towards the chest, perhaps grasping your shins, rocking side to side if that serves your back. When you're ready, rolling to your preferred side, and then using the upper arm and the upper leg to press up to an easy seated position. Bringing your hands back to your heart center, closing your eyes. I had the pleasure the other day of sharing a conversation with Gabriel Halpern, and I was looking at his website as I was around that conversation. And there was a beautiful poem on there I wanted to share with you. It's called Blessings 2. He says, I love all, I bless all, I behold spirit in all. When I have feelings of misunderstanding or animosity towards another, I pray that I may behold spirit in them. Nothing equals the harmonizing and adjusting power of a loving heart. I am at peace with myself, my dear ones, and all my associates. I release all critical or condemning thoughts. I love all, I bless all, I behold spirit in all. Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for the practice. Susan's back with us. She's going to stop our recording and unmute our mics. And if you have any thoughts or questions there, how did it go?